Hey, what's up, Brian? This is a quick demo video for you for your Jedi Killer variant or your modified cross guard. Just got this done today. So this is running it's got a Proffie 2.2 in it. You do have regular pins in here for a NeoPixel blade. There's seven pins on that PCB. I put a blade retention screw for you in right here. And I made this chassis so it would have a removable battery system. So how we get to the battery is we open this guy up here, and then we take this off as well. Everything's on magnets, as you know. And then you have your battery compartment right here. Spring side is going to be your negative side of your battery. So I've got a few different I've got a few different chassis retentions going on here. One I put in here. I drilled through the steel and tapped that right here, and I put this set screw in. So that's the main one. That holds it down. And then you've also got these two set screws here. There's two here, and then when you flip it over, there's two here. They were barely poking into the channel when I was sliding the chassis in. So it was accidental that I found them, that I could use them to hold the chassis in. So I backed them out, slid my chassis where I needed it to go, which is just basically lining up the battery compartment right here. And then I tightened those four back in just as an added security measure to make sure that everything stayed in place. Although this was plenty, just opted to use these two. So it does say Solar Sabers on the chassis right here in Arabic. Let's throw a battery in it. So it's got a 24mm speaker. So remember, spring side your negative, that's important. Don't put it in backwards. And we're gonna put the handles back on. That one will go on. This one will go on. Activation. I got Allen key in my pocket. So it's a lot more impressive with a blade in it. Let's go ahead and turn it off. There, we'll turn it off. And we'll throw a blade in it real quick. I think for the purpose of this video, I probably won't even use the blade retention. So, but it is there if you need it. Oh, so one more time. You do have good shine through here. My blade is a cheap test blade. I got a cheap test blade here. I was pretty liberal with my wires when I was wiring this guy up, but still good shine through. I'm gonna turn this blade off. And then when it's off, so because it's a one button, we just hold it down to go to the next sound font. It sounds really good. Flash on flash. So I'm just doing blaster bolts with a tap. And if I want blade lockup, I double tap and hold it. And then to turn it off, I just hold it down. So everything's working really well on this guy. There's one thing I want to walk you through real quick. Let's open this up and just take the battery out. How to get to your board. Because that's important, right? So as I said, there's a couple different blade retentions or chassis retentions going on. You got this main guy right here. You got these two set screws, and then you've got these two set screws. So a total of 5 set screws holding this chassis in that all need to be backed out. This was almost an all-in-one chassis that could slide out all by itself, minus the switch mechanism here. So the switch PCB had to actually be glued in place yesterday, and I let it cure overnight, and it's up in the compartment. So what I did was I slid my chassis into here until my board was right here, and then I wired in your 2 wires for your switches right here. I left enough slack where that board or this chassis could be slid this way, and you will have your board right here, and you can pop up your board. You can get to your sound card, your micro USB slot, and then put your board back down and carefully slide it back. I'll send you a 3D rendering of the chassis that I made so that you can see what's going on up here. There is a shelf to allow the wires to, the chassis to pass by the wires and it's not rubbing up against them. But that was the best way that I could think of for board access. There was just no way to get it without moving the chassis in this guy. But like I said, I did leave some slack in the switches. You're just gonna wanna be careful. So when you're taking this chassis and you're sliding it this way, you wanna make sure not to rotate the chassis back and forth, right? Keep it upright like you see it right now, battery compartment facing up, and then just slide it out this way until you see your board and then slide it straight back. That's pretty much all there is to it. So this guy's all done and I will get it out in the mail to you tomorrow. Thanks.